Hello guys, welcome back to our anime moment. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Renegade Immortal episode number 585 based on novel. So let's start. A mid-stage void turbulent old monster on the immortal astral continent could establish their own sect. The seven-colored celestial sovereign was a mid-stage void turbulent cultivator back then. He created his own sect and recruited disciples. Even the Great Soul sect was very polite to him, as these kinds of cultivators deserved respect. With Wang Lin's strength, he could battle early-stage void turbulent cultivators. Killing them would be difficult, but not impossible. However, if he were to face an old monster like the peak seven-colored celestial sovereign, the difference would be too great. Even if he had 9 essences and reached the early stage of arcane void, this gap would still be too great. At most, he would gain the ability to fight back. In order to truly resist mid-stage void turbulent old monsters, Wang Lin would have to reach the late stage of arcane void, or his ancient Tao would have to go through the last trial. But Wang Lin had spent his life in danger. Sometimes, killing something didn't only depend on cultivation, there were other factors sometimes. However, at this moment, he had no preparations with a mid-stage void turbulent old monster chasing him. Even the world had been sealed, preventing him from leading, and it would take some time to break the seal. Once the old monster caught up, he would without a doubt die. At this moment of crisis, Wang Lin's full cultivation activated and entered the Mosquito King. The Mosquito King's speed increased greatly as it charged forward. Behind him, Zhong Daozong calmly followed, only there was monstrous killing intent hidden in his eyes. "I want to see how you will escape under my gaze." Zhong Daozong was still angry about being tricked by Wang Lin. Also, Wang Lin had killed Liu Jiyuan, and he couldn't afford to face the sect master unless he killed Wang Lin. As for the impact of him leaving the battlefield, he didn't care. The reason he dared to leave was because this was all part of a plan the Green Devil continent had set for Wang Lin. This plan was to sacrifice a large amount of cultivators to delay this battle and lure Wang Lin out. In truth, if the Green Devil continent wanted to, they could have ended the second battle quickly because their reinforcements had arrived 2 days ago. The reason the reinforcements hadn't appeared and had hidden themselves was to kill Wang Lin. The things Wang Lin had done in the Pill Sea angered the 3 old ancestors of the Green Devil continent, so they had sent out a kill order for Wang Lin. This was because everything Wang Lin had done was heaven-shaking. He had killed the Green Devil continent's genius Void Cloud's avatar and destroyed their plan at the Pill Sea, resulting in the celestial pill exploding early. This caused the Green Devil continent to be affected and part of it was destroyed along with most of the Green Devil continent cultivators at the Pill Sea. These were things that happened before, and now Wang Lin had killed the Devil Dao sect's Liu Jiyuan. Even Shu Datsai was likely slaughtered by his vile methods. These series of things made Wang Lin the #1 must-kill target of the Green Devil continent at the beginning of this war. The moment Zhong Daozong began chasing Wang Lin, 100,000 kilometers away from the battlefield, 4 auras suddenly erupted. All 4 were mid-stage void turbulent. What was even more shocking was that after the 4 auras appeared, the sky above the extreme sky prairie turned into a strange shade of green. The green condensed into a giant scorpion. This scorpion let out bursts of hisses and a green fog spread out toward the battlefield below. Green Devil Messenger. When Lu Wenran, who was battling the old man named Zhao, felt the 4 auras appear and saw the green scorpion in the sky, his expression changed greatly. He had personally fought against the Green Devil Messengers and knew how terrifying they were. He didn't expect for them to appear here. It has to be said even in the Pill Sea, only 3 had appeared. For the Green Devil continent, every single Green Devil messenger was extremely precious, so they wouldn't casually send out too many. Lu Wenran's face turned deathly pale. He didn't know that the target of these 4 Green Devil messengers was Wang Lin. As for the Meridian, it was merely an accident. Lu Wenran's eyes were filled with fear as he roared, quickly returned to the underground palace and sealed the entrance. Even without his reminder, when the Heavenly Bull continent cultivators felt those 4 auras and saw the green scorpion in the sky, the only thought in their minds was to quickly return to the underground palace. After all, that was the last line of defense. The 4 Green Devil messengers and the 2 mid-stage void turbulent old monsters were impossible to defend against. Ordinary cultivators landed on the ground and instantly entered the underground palace. Only the Heavenly Bull Continent cultivators could do this. The Green Devil Continent cultivators couldn't enter the Earth. After all, the formation here still existed and was at full power. However, void turbulent cultivators like Lu Wenran were already locked onto and wouldn't be allowed to escape so easily. The 4 rays of green light moved through the fog. The giant scorpion in the sky continued to descend, releasing a large amount of green fog on its way. As the thunderous rumbles echoed, all the void turbulent cultivators from the Heavenly Bull Continent let out roars of anger. It seemed like they were being prevented from entering the ground. As for Wang Lin, he was also inside the fog, and he felt the 4 powerful aura closing in. When he saw the giant green scorpion in the sky, he couldn't help but gasp. He clearly understood that his only chance would be to return to the underground palace. Once he was too late and the underground palace was sealed, he would have to face 6 mid-stage void turbulent old monsters. He wouldn't have the slightest chance of survival. Even if he were to use the avatar and the 3 life spell, everything would still result in his death. This life or death crisis was even more intense than normal. Wang Lin didn't hesitate and the Mosquito King charged toward the Earth. As long as he could touch the ground, he could enter it to leave. However, the world here had been sealed and he couldn't teleport, so it all depended on speed. When the mosquito beast rushed to the Earth, Zhong Daozong was less than 500 feet behind him. He was in no rush to attack. He wanted to see Wang Lin suffer in despair before death. In the distance, a ray of green light closed in. A Green Devil messenger was going to hunt Wang Lin with the old man named Zhong. For the Green Devil continent, Wang Lin had to be killed, otherwise, they can't dispel the hatred in their hearts. The Green Devil messengers were different from ordinary cultivators. They were extremely cold and fierce. They didn't care about what the enemy's cultivation level was. Even if they were facing a little Foundation establishment disciple, they would still use full force. They wouldn't consider that an insult to their identity. Wang Lin's pupils shrank. He was still 3,000 feet away from the Earth. In the distance, he saw Yang Lu cough out blood. Her delicate body trembled as she escaped into the Earth. After Yang Lu, a pale-faced Shudongda also escaped into the Earth. The void turbulent cultivators entered the Earth one by one after being injured. Lu Wenran coughed out a large mouthful of blood and his right arm exploded as he charged toward the Earth. A Green Devil messenger chased after him. Once Lu Wenran enters the Earth, he will choose to seal the underground palace. I must be fast, faster. Wang Lin was anxious and was less than 1,000 feet from the Earth, but at this moment, Zhong Daozong attacked. It's over. After Zhong Daozong spoke, he pointed at Wang Lin. With that, the green light that terrified Wang Lin flew toward him. It instantly closed in. Wang Lin suddenly turned around and revealed a decisive gaze. The moment the green light closed in, the blue umbrella appeared before him. After the umbrella appeared, Wang Lin didn't have time to feel heartache over it as he roared. Explode! A thunderous rumble echoed when the green light collided with the explosion from the blue umbrella. The impact hit Wang Lin and popping sounds echoed inside his body. He coughed out blood as he put the Mosquito King away. He was less than 500 feet from the ground. The distance that normally wouldn't even take more than a breath to cross became a gap as wide as the heavens and earth. This was because not only was the old man named Zhong closing in, but the cold Green Devil messenger was less than 1,000 feet away as well. Facing 2 mid-stage void turbulent old monsters, Wang Lin couldn't cross that 500-foot distance. In the distance, Lu Wenran coughed out blood as he fell to the earth and disappeared. He saw Wang Lin, but he didn't hesitate to close the underground palace. He could have chosen to wait a little after securing his own safety to seal the underground palace, but he didn't. Fluctuations came from the earth. It was rapidly sealing. Wang Lin's eyes became red, as if he had gone crazy. As Zhong Daozong and the Green Devil messenger closed in, he took out the 30 million Dao Soul Gourd. He threw it forward. Explode! Wang Lin's heart ached, but he didn't have time to think too much. As he roared, the 30 million Dao souls inside the god exploded and let out a thunderous explosion that echoed across the entire extreme sky prairie. The explosion of 30 million Dao souls was enough to threaten a mid-stage void turbulent cultivator. Even Zhong Daozhong's expression changed greatly as he quickly retreated. The Green Devil messenger frowned and paused for a moment. With this chance, Wang Lin crossed the 500 feet distance in a frenzy. Just as the formation was about to close, he entered. The moment Wang Lin entered the earth, his face was pale and he could no longer hold in that mouthful of blood, so he allowed it to spray out. Just as he entered the earth, he felt the formation completely seal off behind him. If he had been a bit slower, he would have been stuck outside. At that time, he would face 6 mid-stage void turbulent old monsters. Even if he were to use all 3 of his lives, he wouldn't have a chance of surviving. However, the cost was simply too great. The collapse of the 30 million Dao souls made Wang Lin's heart ache. If the good had been used properly, he could have seriously injured a mid-stage void turbulent old monster. But he could only let it explode to give him a chance to escape. Forget it. Even though that good was extremely powerful, it was only an outside force. As long as I survive this crisis, I'll eventually obtain even stronger treasures. Zhong Daozhong, I'll remember this. Wang Lin's expression was very gloomy. What happened just now was the most dangerous situation he had been in since he arrived on the immortal astral continent. If he had been a bit careless, he would already be dead. Wang Lin was always one to get revenge. He had memoized Zhong Daozhong's attempt on his life, and he had already memoized Lu Wenran's action. Earlier, if Lu Wenran had delayed the sealing of the underground palace, Wang Lin might not have needed to explode the good to make it to the ground. But Lu Wenran's selfishness had placed Wang Lin in a dangerous situation. Lu Wenran. Wang Lin's eyes were red and were filled killing intent. When he came to the immortal astral continent, he had no sense of belonging. The people and places he saw all felt like strangers. He didn't hate the people here. Everyone was busy with their own purposes. But now he had changed his mind. This happened due to what had just happened. In a flash, Wang Lin entered the depths of the earth and he soon saw the underground palace. Thunderous rumbles echoed from above. Someone was attacking the formation to break into the underground palace. Although the formation was powerful, if 6 mid-stage void turbulent old monsters continued to attack, it would eventually be broken. In a flash, Wang Lin entered the underground palace. Only a little more than 1,000 cultivators had escaped. They were worried and had no intention of cultivating. They looked up as they listened to the rumbles above. They were anxious and desperate. His gaze would occasionally sweep toward the palaces. That was where the void turbulent cultivators were, and they were seriously injured as well. As the thunderous rumbles above became even more intense, the underground palace began to tremble and soil began to fall from the ceiling. Although they knew that it would take the Green Devil continent cultivators a long time to break the formation, the continuous rumbling created an invisible pressure on everyone. Under this kind of pressure, those without a strong will would likely go crazy. As the thunderous rumbles continued to echo, many of the remaining cultivators revealed despair in their eyes. Looking at the dirt falling from above and feeling the palace shake, their fear became even more intense. It's over. They have 6 powerful old monsters and this formation can't protect us at all. Once they open the formation, we will be dead. The Green Devil continent has reinforcements, why don't we have any? Why is it just us guarding this place? There is no need to guard anymore, it's useless. This place will soon be broken into, we should escape immediately. Their outroar echoed through the underground palace like a storm. Wang Lin was sitting inside his cave. His cave had no door, so he could easily see everything outside at a glance. Listening to the despair of those cultivators and feeling the endless rumbles from above, Wang Lin's expression gradually became gloomy. Wang Lin didn't care about the palace being destroyed. He was pondering how to deal with that Zhong Daozhong once the Green Devil continent cultivators slaughtered their way in. If they could seal the world once, then they could do it a second, third, and fourth time. This sealing was specifically targeted at him, which gave him a headache. Through this, Wang Lin was able to determine that the Green Devil continent had noticed him, and they likely knew about the matter in the Pill Sea. It was like the 4 mid-stage void turbulent old monsters were here for him. Breaking open the third meridian is only one of their goals, the other is likely to kill me. As a result, they must have planned this out very well to not give me any chance to escape. So if I want to save myself and fight back, then I must make myself stronger at any cost. Wang Lin's eyes lit up. He quickly focused, thinking of a way to make himself stronger. It had been a long time since he last felt like this. Only by being under the constant pressure of life or death could Wang Lin grow to this point in less than 3,000 years. Just as Wang Lin pondered, aside from a few hundred cultivators, the remaining cultivators' uproar became even more intense as the rumbling continued. It was unknown who was leading the way, but they even swarmed around the palaces. Fellow Void Turbulent cultivators, what should we do now? The Green Devil continent cultivators are about to slaughter their way in, how should we resist? Do we have reinforcements? If we do, when will they arrive? And if there are none, are we just waiting to die? Senior, please give us an explanation. Give us an answer. If there are no answers, we can't wait for death. At most, this old man will surrender to the Green. The last person who spoke was a middle-aged man. He was angry, afraid, and filled with despair. However, just at this moment, his eyes widened and his body flew into the air. His hands struggled around his neck as if someone was choking him. There seemed to be a giant pair of invisible hands choking his cheek. No matter how much he struggled, he could not break free. With a thunderous bang, the cultivator exploded into a blood mist that scattered across the more than 1,000 cultivators here. When the blood fell on their faces, everyone became silent. What are you all panicking for? A cold voice came out from the palace. Lu Wenran, who had lost an arm, walked out with a pale face, but his gaze was gloomy. Behind him, Yan Lu's face was deathly pale. She had specks of blood on her clothes, and she silently followed. Next to her was Xu Dongde, who looked really weak. It seemed like he had been seriously injured at the last moment. Behind the three of them were the 3 early-stage void turbulent cultivators from the nearby sects. They were all weakened and silently followed. With Lu Wenran leading the way, all the void turbulent cultivators flew out. The old man named Ju also followed everyone. Lu Wenran's gaze swept the earth before him. At this moment, he was faintly excited and didn't pay attention to the surrounding cave, he just subconsciously swept by. It is not the most critical moment yet. If anyone dares to cause any more chaos, then don't blame me for being ruthless. Fellow cultivator Ju, come explain the situation. After Lu Wenran spoke, he looked at the old man named Ju. The old man's heart trembled and he quickly nodded. He looked at the people below him with a complicated expression. With a sigh, he clasped his hands and spoke. Fellow cultivators, this old man is the one in charge of the underground palace here. Most of you have seen me. Make it quick. Lu Wenran frowned. The old man named Ju trembled and spoke faster. This is the situation. Although there are 6 void turbulent old monsters outside, the third meridian still has a final ace. Once it is used, we can fight our way out and ensure everyone can safely leave. So please don't panic. This last method requires everyone to use their full cultivation to summon the soul of the heavenly bull and turn it into a suit of soul armor. After equipping the soul armor, the spirit of the heavenly bull will enter your body and your cultivation will reach a terrifying level in a short period of time, the old man named Ju quickly said. After hearing this, the more than 1,000 cultivators' breathing became rough. They had never heard of this before. They even doubted the existence of the heavenly bull, but it seemed the heavenly bull did exist, and summoning its soul armor would increase one's cultivation level greatly. Because there is a certain level of danger to wearing the armor, after discussion between the void turbulent cultivators, we agreed to let Elder Lu, who has the highest cultivation level and contribution, of it. As the old man named Ju spoke, in the distant cave, Wang Lin opened his eyes. His eyes revealed a strange light. He didn't believe that Lu Wenran would wear this soul armor only if there was real danger. There had to be other benefits, or else Lu Wenran would never do this. Fellow cultivators, although this soul armor is dangerous, it is a critical moment for our heavenly bull continent. How can I let others do it just because it's dangerous? The more dangerous it is, all the more reason I must be the one to wear it. If I die an unexpected death due to the soul armor, then please, every year on this day, just send me a jug of old wine. Lu Wenran was extremely excited on the inside and could hardly contain himself. However, on the surface, he revealed a look of sadness, as if he was risking it all. His words caused Yang Lu to reveal an undetectable hint of contempt. When they were discussing this matter, Yang Lu realized that this was a great fortune. Summoning the soul of the heavenly bull to wear as an armor and gaining a big boost in cultivation level for a short period of time would help one increase their cultivation level and gain unimaginable benefits. However, not everyone could do this. Only after forming a connection with the heavenly bull could one do this. The greater the connection, the more terrifying the increase in cultivation level. Although it was a temporary increase, it would be much easier to climb to that cultivation level in the future. This kind of opportunity was extremely rare. Only when the entire Heavenly Bull continent was threatened and the Heavenly Bull 7 Meridian formation was activated could this happen. Most importantly, the amount of times the Heavenly Bull soul was summoned couldn't be high. If it was summoned too much, the soul of the Heavenly Bull would dissipate and the entire Heavenly Bull continent would be affected. This would affect the mortals and the foundation of the Heavenly Bull continent. Although this was the case, there would be some crazed people who would disregard all life and try to activate it by force. Someone like this would certainly be punished by the royal family. This was an indisputable order in the land of the Celestials. It had lasted for countless years, and no one had ever dared to violate it. Once it was violated, one person would die, one sect would die, one continent would die. The order stated that unless it came to the very survival of the cultivators on a continent, no one was allowed to damage the seals on the souls of the beasts. With the Green Devil continent invading, this command became lax. Yang Lu naturally desired such an opportunity. Shudongda also longed for it and the 3 early-stage void turbulent cultivators also longed for it, but they couldn't compete with Lu Wenran. Even if Lu Wenran was injured, but just based on the contribution in this war they couldn't say anything. The muffled rumbles from above still continued. It was like the sign of death that could come to reap their life at any moment. Fellow cultivators, please sit down and release your full cultivation. Focus your thoughts on the Heavenly Bull and help me summon the soul of the Heavenly Bull continent. Lu Wenran's heart was filled with excitement. He had waited for this opportunity for a long time. He knew that although the soul armor was dangerous, it wasn't that big of a deal. Most importantly, if he missed this chance, he would have to wait for countless years for the next opportunity. This time, there would be a total of 7 people who would be eligible to obtain the soul armor. These 7 people would be famous in the Heavenly Bull continent in the future. After he spoke, the cultivators below pondered a bit and then sat down. They had no choice, this was the only way. Yang Lu and company behind Lu Wenran were unwilling, but it was too late, so they could only secretly sigh and sit down. Right now, only Lu Wenran remained standing, and he could not hide the excitement in his eyes. He looked at the old man named Ju and nodded. The old man named Ju didn't dare to refuse. His hands quickly formed seals and he began muttering a chant that only he could hear. His cultivation was lacking, and the reason he was in charge of this place and didn't have to participate too much in the battle was because his body made it easier for him to communicate with the Heavenly Bull's soul. He was similar to the Green Devil messengers, his identity was that of a Heavenly Bull servant. Wang Lin was sitting inside the cave. His eyes lit up, but he didn't act recklessly. He continued to wait. Outside the cave, the old man named Ju bit the tip of his tongue and coughed out blood. His right hand grabbed the blood and formed a blood seal. Heavenly Bull's holy soul, I use my blood to guide the holy soul. The old man's expression was solemn as he threw the blood seal in his hand. The seal released a bright red light that shrouded the entire underground palace. Fellow cultivators, send your cultivation into this blood light, the old man named Ju suddenly shouted. After he roared, the more than 1,000 cultivators released their full cultivation. Ripples echoed across the earth. When the last cultivator sent out their cultivation, they revealed a painful expression. All the cultivation they had spread out was absorbed by the bloodlight. The endless bloodlight absorbed all the cultivation and flew back into the blood seal. There was a thunderous bang, and then grey fog appeared. The blood seal was at the center of the fog, and it slowly turned until a vortex formed. The vortex slowly sped up. As it turned, thunderous rumbles started to echo. The depths of the vortex seemed to lead to a mysterious space. A crazed roar came out of the strange space. Roar? The moment this sound appeared, the underground palace trembled. When the cultivators below heard this, their faces turned pale. They coughed out blood and looked weakened. Even the expressions of Yang Lu and company changed when they heard this roar. This was the roar of the heavenly bull. Lu Wenran could no longer hide his excitement and revealed it completely. He stared at the strange space inside the vortex and began to laugh as he listened to the roar of the heavenly bull. His inner excitement had reached a limit. His eyes revealed desire and greed. He understood that it wouldn't be long before he would be able to obtain that short burst of power that would benefit him greatly in the future. Wang Lin was inside the cave and staring at the vortex in the sky. He listened to the roar of the heavenly bull. He was no stranger to this roar. The first step to summoning the soul of the heavenly bull was the cultivation of more than 1,000 cultivators to open up the vortex to the sealed heavenly bull. The blood imprint was the second step. Fellow cultivators, take 9 drops of 450 grams of blood, no more and no less, and gather it in your right index finger. The old man named Ju waved his right hand and a wound appeared on the tip of his right index finger. The proper amount of blood flew out. At the same time, the more than 1,000 cultivators below raised their right hands. At this point, they had no path of retreat. They followed the old man named Ju and squeezed out the proper amount of blood, which then flew out. The large amount of blood condensed together to form a chain that swept into the vortex. After reaching deep into the vortex, it fiercely pulled out. The roar of the heavenly bull echoed once more. The blood chain seemed like it was trying to pull out the soul of the heavenly bull. The roar became even louder and Lu Wenran became even more excited. He licked his lips and his eyes were filled with monstrous longing. This is mine, this belongs to me, Lu Wenran. With the heavenly bull soul armor, I can slaughter my way out. Although the power will only last for a short period of time, I won't easily return this armor. Lu Wenran stared at the vortex in excitement. He had waited a long time for this day. The reason he had targeted Wang Lin was because of esteemed Green Bull's attitude toward Wang Lin, so he felt threatened. Then they were both sent here as well, which made Lu Wenran act the way he had. The red chain continued to pull, and the roar of the heavenly bull became even more clear. A silhouette of the bull was being pulled out. However, this didn't last for long before the chain showed signs of not being able to last. Seeing this, there was a flash of coldness in Lu Wenran's eyes. Fellow cultivator Ju. Lu Wenran suddenly turned to look at the old man named Ju. Then he glanced at Yang Lu and company. The old man named Ju smiled bitterly in his heart. He clenched his teeth and clasped his hands at Yang Lu and company. The heavenly bull is not coming out. I ask fellow seniors to release your origin souls to help me pull the soul out. After the old man named Ju spoke, his right hand touched his forehead and his origin soul flew out. He flew toward the vortex and grabbed the chain. At this time, under Lu Wenran's red and threatening gaze, the 3 early-stage void turbulent cultivators from the extreme sky prairie sat down and closed their eyes. They felt helpless as their origin souls flew out to help the old man named Ju. Elder Yang Lu, Elder Dongda. Lu Wenran looked at the two of them with a chilling gaze. Yang Lu let out a sigh and no longer hesitated. Both of them sat down and their origin souls flew out, grabbing the red chain. With the power of 5 void turbulent cultivators and the old man named Ju as the guide, everyone pulled. The heavenly bull inside the vortex let out a heaven-shattering roar. It echoed through the palace, through the earth, and even to the surface. As the roar echoed, a giant heavenly bull silhouette was pulled out from the vortex. A terrifying pressure shrouded the area. The moment the heavenly bull silhouette appeared, it shined brightly and attracted the gazes of all the cultivators below. The heavenly bull silhouette shrank rapidly before everyone's gazes and turned into a suit of armor that floated in the air. The armor was completely black and gave off a powerful soul aura. The moment the armor appeared, Yan Lu and company's origin souls returned to their bodies, and they revealed complicated expressions. Lu Wenran laughed as he charged toward the armor. The heavenly bull third meridian soul armor belongs to me, Lu Wenran. However, just as Lu Wenran was about to walk out, a ray of light charged toward the armor from a cave not far away. I don't agree that the soul armor belongs to you. This video will end here.